That's the hungriest player I've ever seen. Not lying there sleeping. That's where you drink water. There's no sense of looking for food. I gather firewood all the time. The only food you can find is clams. And a few of them are bad. Man, they're not out in the wilderness. I'm just here to experience the fairy life. The show sent people to the Cambodian jungle this time. There was a lot of anticipation before everyone came. Can't wait to get out there right now. Look at this camera. They've all been dished out by former players. Full of passion and stink. The man's name is Tom. Be an example to the children. I hope they get to experience it when they grow up. Carrie was much more nervous, even though he was in the army. But it's not too much for logistics. I don't know if I'm going to fit in. You know, it's pretty humid and hot. It's full of dangerous creatures. The worst killer is the crocodile. It's perfectly fine to eat a grown man. Now for the naked ass part. Tom wasn't embarrassed at all. I'm very happy with my body. This is full of security. I'm sure your partner will be relieved to see this. Carrie didn't really want to be completely naked. You usually have to pay for that. It's too much of a sacrifice. Soon the two meet at their destination. Tom didn't expect the show crew to be so kind to him. Arranged for a pretty girl to come over. The two communicate well enough. After a brief conversation, start checking the equipment. A beater and a machete are enough. Now it's time to travel through the jungle to find a safe place to spend the night. The show didn't give them high marks. It's just a passing grade. I wonder what kind of spark they'll have. Tom is confident about the challenge. See how you lead the team to complete the challenge. Carrie was much more confused. I hope my partner can help me adapt. I mean, we all have military experience, but there's no one to help you survive in the wild. It felt very difficult. Luckily, they didn't have any trouble communicating, did they? Talking and laughing along the way. Carrie thought it a good partner. I'm sure I can handle the challenge. I don't know where to camp right now. Tom's got an idea for the camp. Bamboo is still fairly common around here. Just need to gather a few more materials. It was built very quickly. Carrie had tried it before. I don't know which vacant lot is suitable. The vegetation here is quite dense. Getting over the past is torture enough. After a while, there are many bruises on the body. Tom was afraid he'd end up in here. In addition to the dense vegetation, ants on the ground are also very annoying. There are still a lot of snakes nearby. You can get bitten even if you miss a look. It's hard to step on the rocks with bare feet. Fortunately, the water source is not far down. Hoping to find a suitable place to camp. After a brief discussion between the two, decided to build a shelter here. You know, nighttime temperatures are pretty low. Once the shelter is built, a fire must be lit. They really don't have much time. Tom thinks this is a good place. Choose to build directly on stone. Sure, it won't get cold at night. Carrie wished she could think about it. Even if there was a fire, it would be freezing. The two had a long argument about it. But in the end, I listened to Tom. Let's set it up and see what's going on. Tom has taken command. Carrie had experience in building. She didn't think it was a good fit. Tom's not too bad. Well, if it's that good, she'll do it. I was in charge of the fire. Said he had a firearm, but it's kind of hard to ignite. Carrie did a pretty good job on her own. Tom thinks he's too attractive. Not a big fan of women. I've sacrificed so much for this challenge. The fire has been successfully lit. The first day went relatively smoothly. But once it's dark, the animals around him start to come alive. On top of that, it's very cold at night. Carrie wanted to stay close to Tom for warmth. But the partner didn't want to make contact. Duck back. They even left the shelter in unison. Dude, is he from Sigma? Tom says being naked is the bottom line. The relationship can't go any further. He sat by the fire and rested for the night. I didn't think about my partner at all. Carrie felt that the man was ill. She was too cold to get close. This pushing man makes me feel very uncomfortable. Tom even gave himself a thumbs up. You don't know how you made it to dawn. Carrie really wanted a new teammate. He's the devil. All night long, afraid the wife might get the wrong idea. Man, you can do it naked. If the camera wasn't there, I want to slap them in the face. Now all we have to do is complete the shelter and find a way to boil the water. The easiest thing to do is to use the surrounding bamboo. We just need the thicker one. You can put it on the fire and burn it. It's safer to boil it for a while. After waiting so long, I finally got a drink. It smells like bamboo. I feel like I'm alive. It was almost night again. Carrie was very worried about it. The fire was a little far from the sleeping place. Plus, your partner doesn't want to cuddle. I hope the body can hold up in the days to come, either collecting materials or drinking water. Lack of food supplement. The body is getting weaker and weaker. Tom spent most of his time collecting firewood. I didn't say anything about getting food. A partner like that is hopeless. I can only rely on willpower to carry on. I don't want to just quit and go home. Make sure you prove you didn't have a partner. She can also successfully complete the challenge. Day 6 of the challenge. Tom here is going to gather firewood again. There's really no point in finding something to eat. Carrie had had enough of such days. She wanted her partner to pay attention to something else. It takes more than firewood to survive in the wilderness. Tom said there was still water to drink. Carrie felt suffocated by such a partner. You can't just drink water for the rest of the day. Listen to your partner complain. Doesn't Tom think so? Boy, he's really thinking about spending it this way. I have the ability to hunt for food, but there's no need to risk it. I'm not that hungry right now. No way. I haven't eaten in 6 days. How did Tom hold up? He didn't want to go looking for food anyway. Then Carrie had to go by herself. She'll still share her food if we find her. The best thing is to get some crab to eat. It's just that my body is too tired. There's no way out of this area. Walked about a kilometer. Carrie was a little overwhelmed. It's a nice view. Looks like we can get some food. You know, this is crocodile territory. If we do, it's all over. She wasn't too bothered about it. All I wanted was to get food, even if it's just some small shells. She was quite satisfied with that. A lot of work in a while. Carrie is going back with these now. I wish Tom could see it and not eat it. Tom had not expected Carrie to be so brave. I actually went to get food. Carrie hoped to change Tom through this. Sigma Man says he can eat it, but I still can't cuddle at night. I hope the partners keep their distance. There's obviously something wrong with you, you know? It's good to get food anyway, you know? He managed to cook them better. These don't really restore much energy. Instead, I wear myself out looking for it. Tom's behavior disgusted Carrie. I think he's just picking a fight. Tell Tom to stop and talk right now. She doesn't want anyone to get the wrong idea. He refused to cut bamboo and collect firewood every day, just trying to get something to eat. Tom didn't think he was at fault. It's going to freeze up here without firewood. Carrie felt that this was an excuse. Can't you bring firewood when you're looking for food? I think Tom is a dish. He just can't get food. I can't find any clams. Carrie declared herself very tired. But I can still find food. Tom is stronger than himself. Why don't you want to go and look for it? The more angry you are, the more excited you are. I feel like I'm singing a rap. Tom could not listen any longer. I hope women don't think that makes them attractive. He's not going to give it a second look. Firewood and shelter are more important now. I'll look for it when I'm really hungry. Anger made Carrie's mouth smell sweet. Why is Tom out here in the wild? I think you're here to cultivate the fairies. I wish I could get the show to change partners right now. She's never seen a man so narcissistic. Carrie did not know what to persuade. Let's hope Tom does some soul searching. Cooperate when you can. I can't take care of myself. The team atmosphere was getting heavier and heavier. Tom still wanted to talk to Carrie. He hopes everyone can complete the challenge together. Carrie did not accept Tom's statement. I would rather go it alone than accommodate others. Day 9 of the challenge. Tom thought his partner was being a little fussy. Since Carrie won't accept cooperation, then let's do our own thing. He doesn't need his partner's help anyway. As long as we can complete the challenge together. Tom was curious to know, how do other people deal with this situation? It's just too bad right now. The challenge continues on day 11. Carrie was getting more and more dissatisfied with Tom. I don't think he should be here. Just go home to your wife. You can do the challenge on your own. Should have done the crew challenge next door. Now I just want to get food fast. The challenge continued on day 14. Tom's life is too depressing. You haven't talked to your partner in days. The challenge is getting less and less interesting. I had to gather firewood myself. Carrie lay thus enjoying herself. I don't even want to help. It is now the 15th day. Their conflict did not ease. Carrie thought Tom was really good, too hungry to go looking for food. I gather firewood all the time. Anyone else wouldn't have been able to handle it. At night, I can only hold myself close to keep warm. The challenge is on day 18. Their daily energy intake. It's probably just 2.5 bananas. I don't think any of the players can do it better. This is not the time to order wild vegetables to eat. I'm afraid they'll suddenly faint on the ground. Tom thought it was time to find something to eat. I hope Carrie can help with the fire. Boy, you've been starving for 18 days. Tom can really carry this. Carrie didn't think it was worth it. She doesn't have the strength to carry firewood. But it's better than being together. So Tom went into the water alone to look for food. If only the tide would go down a bit. He can only find it by hand. I didn't have much luck today. There's not much meat out there. A little sorry I didn't go looking for food sooner. It was harder than I thought. It took a while to get some. Carrie did not expect him to find it. Although there's only so much meat in it. But it's a lot better mentally. Only Tom retrieved it. Half of them are bad and ineatable. This made Carrie very angry. When you take a look when you dig up, how they were laughing just now. Now how loud the silence is. If only I could replace Tom with someone else. I think I'll be better off. I burst into tears. It's late at night on the 20th day. The mood is very mixed. Wait until dawn is the day to evacuate. They literally got through the whole thing with water and clams. None of the players that showed up could do it better. Drink more water before you leave. I hope the evacuation goes well. To my surprise, Tom spilled the cooking into the stream. Carrie had no strength left to curse. Just want to get this challenge over with and go home. I looked at Tom with a sad look on his face. I really want to cry. I hope the show can bring in some strong people. She was just going to cool the water. But it was too hot. I can't even pick it up. I don't care if Tom doesn't help. And he's still hanging around getting all cranky. Carrie could not stand it now. It's the last day to argue. Now I just want to get the bamboo out of there. Just finish the challenge and get out of here. We'll end up with 2 cans of water. Tom was displeased with Carrie, too. Felt like she was a huge drag on the team. If we had our own plan, they are perfectly capable of completing the challenge together. Carrie was so angry that she wanted only to complete the challenge herself. Tom was instantly nervous, not worried about your partner's safety. Carrie had the map. He can't feel his way to the extraction point. There was no choice but to go and find her. Calling to Carrie as they walked. I don't want to fail at this challenge. Tom's mouth was still complaining. Fortunately, Carrie did not go very far. It's just not very accessible. Actually, she was pulled over by the show crew. Otherwise, you'd be at the extraction point by now. We're about 4 kilometers from the evacuation point. They're not going to be able to hold up physically. And the worst of it was that Carrie had led the wrong way. We have to cross crocodile territory to get out. I heard something going into the water. They were so nervous all of a sudden. There's no time for a physical detour. I just have to go through it. Luckily, there were no accidents along the way, The helicopter hovered over it in order to be able to provide their own location. This is the only point where a fire can signal. It wasn't teamwork for Tom. I didn't enjoy this challenge at all. Just want to go home and have a good meal. Carrie did not want to say anything more. I never want to see him again. That's really what came before. I didn't know. Even less after 21 days. But it has to be said that they can really starve. If that were the challenge of living alone, they can expect to starve for dozens of days. Take my advice and go back and sign up. Those of you who don't like lizards don't know that. Even with the head cut off, you put it on the fire, it still moves. They say you only see it when it's fresh. The toothpick smells good through the screen. 100% crunchy chicken flavor. So really, does anyone like it? The challenge came to Nicaragua. Quinn was in a very emotional mood. I know a lot of survival skills. Just been a vegetarian for the last 2 years. She was afraid she might not be able to resist eating meat here. I hope my partner can understand and help me. Adam's a little worried about freezing during the night. He's a mature old hunter. Hunted all kinds of big game. It's just that this challenge is a little crude. I don't know if we're going to make it. Quinn doesn't really want to be naked on camera. After all, he's still single. I'm worried it's going to hurt my luck. And Adam just got together with his girlfriend. He's also worried about how being naked might affect his relationship. You have to get into the challenge. Soon they arrive at the rendezvous point naked. It was very awkward the first time we met. You don't know what to say. Check your gear and get out of here. According to the map from the show crew, the creek over the falls would be a good fit. It's only about 3 or 4 hours before dark. They don't have much time. You know, you want to get to the falls. Rugged terrain and high altitude. It's not easy to find a place to camp. The worst part is there are snakes. It would be bad to be targeted by a creature from here. The 2 men discussed countermeasures as they walked. Adam's not a very good communicator. He's a professional hunter. Know how to deal with the animals here. I only have 1 machete I can use. Quinn says he doesn't kill. Can't even eat meat. The challenge is going up quite a bit. Adam thinks a partner is too good to look at. I was a little excited, but from a survival standpoint, women are naturally vulnerable. Plus, I'm a vegetarian. Adam felt that was quite stressful. Quinn says take it easy. She knows a lot of plants that can be eaten. I'm sure you won't starve anyone. Adam can't say much. What? Let's hope Quinn does what she says she does. Do you think vegetarians can really do the challenge? The show has a pretty good opinion of them. Adam, in particular, already has a rating of 7.3, even though Quinn is a vegetarian. But the rating is also 7:1. In the past, this score has been achieved steadily. We can look forward to their performance. Take the time to find out where to set up shelter. The terrain around here is really rough. The vegetation is so dense that it blocks the sun. I finally found a good one. Start gathering materials immediately. Quinn didn't like the look in Adam's eyes. I feel like someone's watching me all the time. She will weave the leaves into clothes. I think Adam did a pretty good job. It was the photographer who was watching. Quinn thinks that with this leaf, the whole person that is relaxed a lot. She still finds Adam's beard attractive. So I'm willing to let him handle it. Adam said that except for a physical reaction, inside there is no stir at all. After all, her girlfriend was waiting for her at home, less than an hour before dark. They'll have to build a simple shelter first. At least we have a place to lie down tonight. It's the first time anyone's faced a challenge naked. You need to hug each other at night. Quinn didn't think he was happy. I think he was attracted to Adam. Took a lot of time to build. Finally got it done before dark. It was just a light rain overnight. Plus they don't have a fire to keep warm. It's so cold it's like curling up together. I don't want to go through this again. I barely made it to dawn. The sun is warmer than expected. That's the right way to open up for wilderness survival. Although the 2 people hugged each other to keep warm. But it didn't work out very well. The fire must be fixed today, or the happiness of the lower half will be frozen out. Quinn's still shaking. At low temperatures, that can be deadly. It's a good thing you brought a firearm. How long do you want this fire to last? It feels a lot warmer now. The mood also became better. Then all you have to do is boil the water. Bamboo is a great treasure in the wild. Whether it's building shelters or use it as a container, those are very good choices. The water looks pretty clean around here. I believe there will be no problem after boiling. Trying to keep the fire going was a problem. Adam decided to take the plunge and try waterfall water, so you don't have to wait for it to boil. You can immediately replenish enough water. It's a good idea, but no one can guarantee that it's not contaminated. It would be bad if you broke your body. Quinn didn't understand that at all. Day 3 of the challenge. Adam's body was feeling very weak. The heart is beating very fast. Quinn's not doing well either. Can only endure the uncomfortable climb up. I hope I feel better after drinking waterfall water. The speed at which the two men move forward is rather slow, especially Quinn, who has to stop every few steps. Adam had to stop and wait. It's a long way from the waterfall. Quinn thinks we should go back to boiling water. Slower is slower, but it's better than breaking down. She felt dehydrated. It's only going to get worse. This is actually a condition best seen by a doctor. Adam wants Quinn to hold on. I'm sure you'll be fine when you're hydrated. It'll take you 10 minutes at most. Quinn gives up the challenge now. That would be a shame. After a short break, the rest of the way to go. The moment I saw the waterfall, Quinn was on the verge of tears. Quinn's feeling a lot better. I really appreciate Adam's company. Without a partner, I'd have had the show over by now. She is confident that she can complete the challenge together. Day 4 of the challenge. Adam is going to look around for food. Hopefully it will calm the stomach a little bit. Quinn's doing what he can to get food. There's so much vegetation around. There's always something to eat. Eat while you walk. It's a vegetarian's paradise. Adam didn't get much out of it. Just little crabs and snails and earthworms. I don't think it's enough to plug my teeth. Quinn didn't think he'd eat it. Adam reinvented his own definition of food. He also told Quinn to try it. The texture is really good. Crunch. I hope my partner can try it. Mr. Quinn said he would thank her. She thinks it's better to be a vegetarian. I want Adam to experience it. It doesn't matter how much you eat. It actually makes the body feel hungrier. You're going to have to find a way to do this. Especially Quinn, who's a vegetarian. It takes more energy than Adam. The only good news is that the weather is getting dry. They were able to make a fire and boil the water. The hydration problem is now solved. It's just very cold at night. Every now and then a cold wind blows. This is going to make you crazy. It won't do you any good by the fire. There was also the sound of animal activity nearby, except to hold yourself tight. It's like there's really no resistance at all. The whole night was spent in anxiety. They don't know how to describe it, do they? But something must have been here. Adam guessed it was a mountain lion. Whatever it is, we need a weapon for protection, okay? If I could just give myself a shotgun. You're confident you can win anything. Now we really just have to be careful. Quinn thought it would be nice to have a code word for going out. You can call if something goes wrong. I have to say it's kind of interesting. Adam said he'd scream if he did. I saw my partner's tired face. Is Quinn afraid something might happen to him? It's not an easy way down. Adam also found the tracks of a mountain lion. Prove his guess right. Quinn did find a nearby cave, enough for two to get in and rest. It was necessary to tell Adam to move. Adam didn't think he'd be gone for a while. This side says found a new home. It's really perfect for 2 people to live together. Except there are some native people in there. It needs to be cleaned up before you can move in. Either way, it's better than what we had before, right? Materials were pulled straight from the shelter, while they were busy carrying it. I didn't expect to see food on the way. Adam just grabbed it with a stick. In case you hadn't noticed, it's going to be a bite. Under Adam's repeated strokes, snake finally solved. You know, this is one of the most venomous snakes in the area. One bite would have been delivered on the spot. Quinn is freaking out right now. Adam didn't think anything of it, did he? We'll have meat tonight anyway. Adam's in no rush to get rid of snakes. Instead, he was explaining the scene to Quinn. He also said that the snake head should not be thrown. You can get poisoned if you step on it. After a bit of showboating, it's time to finally start dealing with snakes. It's even better in there than in there. I didn't know you could eat snake eggs in there. Adam says it's a men's gas station. No one else can eat it. At night, the meat is cooked on the fire. It smells really, really good. Quinn took it hard to say no to a partner. The energy gap between the two sides is getting wider. The good news is that sleeping in the cave is very comfortable. It's just that the temperature drops a lot in the middle of the night. The fire doesn't keep you warm anymore. Quinn's getting all kinds of bug bites. I mean, it really drives me crazy. And worst of all, there are spiders coming. That's quite a lot. I couldn't sleep through the night. Day 10 of the challenge. This is a really hard time. The mental state of the two of them is very bad. Quinn felt like her hair was full of worms. There were quite a few signs of bite. This is not a place for a normal person. What's the problem with being afraid to bite more? The worst part is today is your period. It hurts so much that I don't want to move, but don't want to drag down the team, all the while trying to collect firewood. I hope this life will be over soon. At night, even with a fire protecting it, the mosquitoes kept coming into the cave. I thought this was bad enough. I didn't realize there was a lot of noise outside. I can't see anything in the dark. I'm afraid a mountain lion will pop out of nowhere. You must have scared yourself. But don't relax too much. And so the challenge continued on the 12th day. I wake up and there's food, although I don't know what ran past. But Adam is confident he'll catch it. All it takes is a little ash to ignite the moss. Use the smoke to force it out. There are mosquitoes flying around in there. Too bad I didn't see anything else. Adam guessed there were a few more holes. We have to give up going back for now. It's now the 14th day. The two bodies were too tired. I'm gonna faint if I don't get some more. Quinn felt the muscles disappear. It's really hard to just eat plants. Still, I want to hold on a little longer. I didn't know I was hungry for so long. Adam's abs are still so strong. Just a whoosh of hunger. I really don't want to chew on these flowers anymore. Eat plants all day long. You're gonna drive yourself crazy sooner or later. They spent most of their time resting in the shelter. I don't spend much time outside every day. The body just can't go any further. Now the team's hope is in Adam. If we can get some meat, we win. And he kept talking to make Quinn laugh. His mental state has improved. The challenge is on its 17th day. Only one lizard was found today. The size is cute. No weapons of any kind. Just grab it with your hands and you're done. Adam says it's not as big as a brother. He wanted Quinn to eat some meat. It's hard to keep up with vegetation all the time. Too bad my partner still refuses. There's no way but to taste it yourself. Slowly squeeze out the uneaten parts. That makes Quinn sick to death. Adam says it tastes really good when it's cooked. It would be a shame to miss it. Lizards even with their heads off. But the body still wants to break away. Quinn's seeing it for the first time. Is it really good to bake this way? It was very painful inside. She really wants some meat. Adam kept telling me how good it was. Quinn couldn't resist the temptation. That's all I tried to eat. I have to say this meat is really delicious. She doesn't think she's pure enough anymore. I'll stick to a vegetarian diet when I get back. Just eat a little more now. The challenge has come to day 19. If I could just have some more meat. Adam is confident he can get to the extraction point quickly. Quinn says the meat is really delicious. For the challenge, she was willing to eat it again. The relationship between the two is getting better and better. If it wasn't for Adam, he'd have a girlfriend. Quinn really wants to go further with him. Agree to go on an adventure together after the challenge. Dude, am I watching the Wild Man Challenge? Why is it getting more and more romantic? Before you know it, day 21 has come. They don't eat much. Just get as much water as you can for the road. The evacuation was almost 6 kilometers. There will be all kinds of trouble on the road. With their current physical condition, it is doubtful whether it will be finished. Would rather walk more slowly. Can't have an accident and hurt yourself. What's worse is the presence of snakes. It's easy to overlook if you don't look at it. To complete the challenge, you need to get in the water. Probably only a few degrees. We have to get through it quickly. Otherwise, the body is really unbearable. There were no accidents along the way. All that's left is the last way down. After a lot of hard work, finally, we can see the road. The show car is already here. Now, they can eat a banana while enjoying the surrounding scenery. What do you think of this group? I think they can starve anyway. What do you expect to see next?